Ever taken a swim in a river and felt something tugging at you beneath the surface, only to realise it was just a broken tree branch? It must have given you quite a scare for the few seconds. Today, we'll be going over 10 of the scariest creatures found in rivers, and they won't stop with just a poke. So if you ever cross paths with these infamous river-dwelling monsters, swim to shore as fast as you can. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Leeches of almost 650 species, varying from 15mm to 45 centimeters in size. One of the largest leeches is a giant Amazon leech that can grow to almost 45 centimeters in length and 10 centimeters in width. These leeches are deadly creatures. They have two suckers on both ends. One of the suckers is the mouth, which they attach to the body of their prey. The mouth produces a numbing saliva. This is the reason why most of their prey won't even know when they're being attacked. A leech could silently drain the blood from you without you even realizing it. This unique deadly saliva increases the blood flow so they can suck as much as they can and as quickly as they can. This pool is filled with 9 million leeches impatiently looking for someone to suck blood from. If you happen to find yourself inside one of these, the key is not to make any movements, since this is how the leeches will find you. They notice the minute disturbances in water to look for their prey. Make a move, and you're gone. Baby leeches target marine animals like small fish or frogs, but the bigger, larger ones only look and hunt for mammals with lots of blood, including you. They can take up to 45 minutes to quench their thirst. Usually they target the groin, between the toes, armpits, and unnoticeable areas where they can attach themselves and enjoy drinking your blood slowly and constantly. Since their saliva will numb us, we'll never notice the bite, nor will we know that our body is being emptied of its blood. These horrible creatures can even kill you by suffocating you. They enter the nose or the mouth and block the airways. Make sure you keep all known openings in your body covered up. Some cotton in the ears and nose might save you only if you keep your mouth closed. We have 5 liters of blood and we can only survive with at least 60% of it inside our bodies. This means as humans we're probably going to die if we lose 40% of our blood. These deadly leeches have the capacity of drinking 5 to 15 mils of blood in one meal. It means it'll take 120 leeches to kill you and 300 of them to dry you up. In 2008, a 65-year-old man in Turkey ended up in hospital having unstoppable bleeding. The doctors examined him and found leech bites all over his body. He received 8 units of frozen plasma. He was lucky enough to survive these creepy leeches. Some remedies can be used to save you. You can use salt, lemon or fire to make them vomit over you, but this can cause you some bacterial infection, which could also prove to be deadly. A more effective way could be to detach them from your body using your fingernails or your credit card. Find the thinnest part of their body, this is where their mouth will be. Now use something sharp like your nails and detach them from you. Wash the wound and disinfect it. If by any chance you end up consuming leech-infested water, you could die of blood drainage. Imagine you're swimming and accidentally some leeches enter inside your body along with the water. This is how many people have died in Africa. They drank leech-infected water unknowingly. In 2004, a 15-year-old girl in Tanzania was suffering from anemia and cardiorespiratory distress. She vomited up a leech that she had drunk in water after 3 days of in the hospital. Make sure you never even take a sip of any water which you don't know the source of. Infamous for being the frenzied, razor-toothed menace of countless horror films and creature features, the truth is we couldn't make this list without mentioning these tiny terrors. While there are dozens of variations of the piranha, the most commonly known is the red-bellied piranha, which is perhaps one of the most notorious aquatic creatures in the entirety of the Amazon River. The largest river on the planet, for hundreds of years, many myths and legends have surrounded swarms of these frenzied fish feasting on large mammals, and in some cases various reports have claimed that several unfortunate humans have been eaten alive by their razor-sharp teeth. While the truth behind those claims is still hotly debated, the truth remains that the red-bellied piranha is a frighteningly efficient fish with its razor-sharp triangular teeth and its ferocious-looking red eyes. Feeding frenzies of these terrifyingly efficient fish have been known to strip all the flesh from a bone within a matter of minutes. However, thankfully, the red-bellied piranha is almost exclusively considered to be a scavenger and is only carnivorous to dead fish and other river creatures. Well, we hope that's the case most of the time. When it comes to terrifying river fish with monstrous names and gigantic razor-sharp teeth, the Goliath tigerfish is unrivaled. Although there is a whole host of terrifyingly named fish, we're pretty sure this guy is at the top of that list. While most of these nightmarish fish, such as the vampire fish, the ghost fish, and the blood-sucking fish, are pretty tame, the Goliath tigerfish has actually been known to actively hunt down human prey. Commonly found across both South America and Africa, the tigerfish species comes in a multitude of terrifying shapes and sizes. The Goliath tigerfish, which is native to the Congo River in Africa, is the largest of its species and is a predator like no other. The biggest of its kind ever recorded weighed in at over 150 pounds and measured over 5 feet. In fact, local legends in the Congo River region claim that the Goliath tigerfish is so fearsome that it doesn't even fear crocodiles. There are several instances where it's been known for a Goliath tigerfish to try and take down a fully grown croc, albeit in rare circumstances. This insane predator thrives in turbulent waters, and its 32 razor-sharp teeth have earned their place as the weaponry of the most monstrous river fish on Earth. In the waters of the Amazon, many creatures are looking for you. All they want is to find you and then savor you. The best you can do is to stay away from this deadly water. One of them is the Candiru. This is a parasitic catfish that stays in the Amazon River and hunts for savory food along with its cousins. The smallest of these fish is only 2.5 millimeters, and they feed on the larger fish by attaching to their gills. The locals believe that this fish and its family can attach themselves to your urethra. Just imagine, what would you do if you're surrounded by millions of these? One of the freshest water systems on Earth, the Amazon River is almost 7,000 kilometers long. 2/3 of the species of animals and plants use this water for their survival. But how will you survive all these deadly fish? Well, it's commonly believed that these fish will find you by the smell of your urine. Yes, that's right. The locals of the area and some online sources are spreading the word that the smell of urine attracts Candiru. It helps it to find its prey. This fish will find the source of the smell and will enter up the urethra of that organism. It makes the urinary tract its home and stays there, causing discomfort and infections. Researchers are still confirming this fact and are not sure about it yet. It might not enter your urethra because the opening is too small for it, but there are other ways this parasite can harm us. It has small spines that become erect and pierce through the skin of its host. Through these spines, it can then drink the blood of the host. If you get attacked by a large number of these fish, you might end up losing your blood and dying an unfortunate death. Therefore, be sure to use swimsuits and other swimming accessories like glasses and the likes to conceal all the exposed parts of your body. It's still under discussion whether the Candiru can detect the prey by the smell of urine, but one thing is sure, it can sense movement in the water to help find its prey. If you end up in water full of Candiru by chance, the only way to survive is to stay still. Throw something away from you so that this deadly fish gets attracted to that side of the water. Try to swim towards the land, and if that doesn't work and the fish starts feeding on your blood, Candiru will not be able to survive on land and will ultimately die. If you're brave enough, you can even let this fish feed on your blood and wait silently and calmly. Transparent fish will become red with blood and ultimately leave you and swim away. This will take about 30 to 145 minutes. If you have the nerves to wait for that long, only then go for this one. If you cannot even imagine waiting in this adverse situation, you'll have to make some serious effort. Physically detach the spines of Candiru. This will be painful and can cause tears on the skin. Hold the fish, preferably by the mouth, and pull with effort. If you don't want to touch the deadly thing, use a knife or a card with a sharp end. Try sliding the object under the head to cut off the spines and detach the Candiru. If nothing works, try the last option of a forceful slap to remove it. If by any chance they make their way into your mouth, ear or nose, thoroughly rinse the area with alcohol to kill the fish. Let's repeat this. The Candiru is large and cannot enter through the urethra. Let's all be grateful for that. You won't bleed when it detaches from your body because it feeds on fresh blood with no clots. But this area of the body can develop a severe wound and can be infected. Clean the wound with alcohol to avoid any infection. Seek medical attention immediately. Grizzly bears may not be the first thing that comes to mind when we think of terrifying monsters and rivers. After all, they've got claws and snouts rather than gills and fins. But the truth is, these imposing and impressive ursine hunters have an incredible relationship with the waterways of the wild. If you've ever seen these old classic cartoons of bears lurking around rivers looking to bag themselves an all-you-can-eat buffet during salmon chomming seasons, that's actually a pretty good description of what life is like in the wild for grizzlies. In fact, current research has concluded that salmon is the most important part of a grizzly bear's diet, despite the fact that they'll pretty much eat anything and everything. But the thing is, bears love salmon so much that they'll go to incredible lengths just to chow down on their favourite fish, often resulting in a dangerous and grisly situation for anything or anyone who's unfortunate enough to cross paths with them. While it's pretty rare to find a grizzly swimming down a river during salmon season, they'll almost exclusively be found catching their claim throughout the rivers and waterways of North America, making sure to get their fill before the bleak winter descends. They sure do look cuddly though. Eels are incredibly interesting and slimy creatures. While they come in an incredible array of shapes and sizes, such as the moray eel or the Atlantic wolf eel, the electric variety has earned itself a reputation for being incredibly dangerous to humans. The thing is, much like the Atlantic wolf eel, electric eels aren't technically eels, but instead they're a closely related member of the knifefish family, native to the vast majority of South American rivers, particularly the Amazon. The anatomy of the electric eel is an incredibly complex machine. All its vital organs are crammed into the front 20% of its body, with the rest of its slender frame packed with over 6,000 cells that act like tiny batteries, which, as you may imagine, is the power source for its swift and dangerous method of hunting. Astonishingly, an electric eel can pump out more than 600 volts of electricity, and although this unique biological system comes in handy for stunning its prey, it's mostly used as a defense system. You see, although attacks on the humans are considered rare, there have been a multitude of cases where electric eels have shocked swimming humans when they feel threatened, which then resulted in the unfortunate victims drowning after being zapped unconscious. They may appear harmless, but the electric eel packs a punch, so beware. Sure, you must have expected that this razor-sharp crocodilian predator would have found itself someplace on this list, and whilst the saltwater crocodile is considered to be one of the most dangerous predators on Earth, its smaller cousin has racked up a terrifying death toll. Although they may not seem so on the surface compared to its larger freshwater and saltwater relatives, the Nile crocodile is a natural-born killer. In fact, the current leading statistic is that as a whole, crocodiles are 100 times more deadly than great white sharks, and one species of crocodile, the Nile crocodile, is amongst the deadliest. It's estimated that worldwide, crocodiles kill around 1,000 people per year. Yet while the state of Florida often takes the crown as the croc capital, it's Egypt's Nile River that leads the way in murderous statistics. This prehistoric killing machine can often reach over 20 feet in length, making them the second largest living crocodilian in history. In recent history, there have been many horrifying incidents of farmers being dragged from the banks of the Nile River while tending their fields, or even tourists dragged into their depths after stepping too close. Not only that, but there are even rumours that the Nile crocodile has recently been imported to southern Florida by a reckless collector. Sounds like a horror movie waiting to happen. When it comes to any semi-aquatic creature with 100 legs, this tiny-limbed creepy crawly is unrivaled by its terrifying appearance alone. But it's the sheer size of the Amazonian giant centipede that's given many tourists such cause for concern. Also known as the Peruvian giant yellow-leg centipede, this terrifying insectoid predator has earned its reputation as one of the largest insects on the planet, growing up to over 11 inches in length. Native to the Amazon River basin, this colossal creepy crawly feasts on mice, frogs, lizards and bats, and it's so successful that it rivals many non-insectoid predators of the Amazon food chain. That's not the only problem though, because not only does the Amazonian giant centipede swim, it's also venomous. So, not only is it a gigantic amphibious insect monster, but it can also poison you. Sounds like something which crawled out of a nightmare. Okay, you may not be expecting this entry given the fact that cats aren't known for their love of water, but the jaguar is actually one of the most successful river predators on Earth. Although the jaguar isn't exactly the largest or strongest of the big cats, relative to its size, it has the strongest bite of any other. A method of hunting that has allowed it to rival other river predators, crocodiles included. In fact, pound for pound, the jaws of a jaguar can exceed unbelievable amounts of pressure per square inch down to its unique arrangement of jaw muscles that act almost like a vice. Amazingly, they've been known to bite straight through the skull of its prey with ease and even pierce the thick skin of a caiman. Although they are rarely studied in the wild, jaguars are truly astonishing creatures, and in the past they were found to stretch across an enormous geographical range from Argentina to the southwestern states of America, where they thrived in the swampy river systems of New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas. The truth is that Jaguar is a natural-born survivor, and no matter their habitat, they'll find a way to reign and dominate. At number 2 is the serpentine queen of the Amazon jungle, the green anaconda. The largest snake on the planet that slithers its way through the murky, muddy waterways of South America hunting for its prey. Well, kind of anyway, because take a look at this eerie image, which seemingly portrays an anaconda strangely bobbing on the surface of a river, highlighting the full extent of its massive body. The green anaconda has been responsible for some of the more terrifying attacks on humans throughout history, giving life to countless accounts of poor, unassuming victims being swallowed whole. Unfortunately for us, the exact length of this monster serpent is still a matter of debate, and while on paper the maximum verified length of an anaconda is about 30 feet, several reports have claimed to have witnessed creatures nearly double that size. There's a reason why the green anaconda is considered to be a mystical, powerful figure in South American mythology, and they could continue to be the living definition of the most terrifying monster imaginable in the murky depths of the Amazon River. You might be surprised to find these cute fellas occupying a spot on this list. Just take a look at the giant otter and your heart will certainly melt at their playful and whimsical appearance. But don't let that fool you, because back in 2017, 2 teenage boys were hospitalized by an otter family after being attacked in a California lake. Astonishingly, while the 2 teenage boys were swimming in the Shasta Lake of California, the pair were swarmed by 5 giant otters, which quickly began attacking them and chasing them down a narrow passage through the river, almost as if they were herding them towards a trap. Thankfully, the 2 boys escaped, but they suffered injuries on their necks, legs and feet and had to be given an emergency rabies shot following the ordeal. While otters rarely attack humans, they will become unstoppable if they feel that their families are threatened. Not so warm and cuddly after all, huh? With that, we've come to the end of this list of 10 scariest creatures found in rivers. Some of them were straight out of a nightmare. Have you ever had a close encounter with any of them from the list? Do let us know in the comments, and before you go, be sure to smash the like button, share and subscribe for more amazing content.